Affairs and Environment. The envoys who were sworn in include Maimuna Tarishi as permanent representative at the United Nations in Geneva, Hussein Katanga was sworn in as Ambassador of Tanzania in Tokyo, and Professor Kennedy Gaston as permanent member of the UN office in New York. Speaking at the occasion, President Dr. John Magufuli called on the newly sworn-in leaders to undertake their duties ethically and to cooperate with other leaders and executives.
Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania itakuwa mwadilifu na mfano kwa watumishi wa umma, watumishi wa bunge, watumishi wa mahakama na watu wengine katika kukuza na kusimamia maadili. Sitatumia cheo changu au wadhifa wangu kwa maslahi binafsi ya familia yangu, ndugu zangu au marafiki zangu. Nitalinda na kutumia rasilimali za umma kwa maslahi ya umma. Nitaelekeza majukumu yangu na kufanya maamuzi kwa kuzingatia katiba, sheria, kanuni, taratibu, miongozo ya kisheria, mila na desturi ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania.
Hivi vyombo vya ulinzi na usalama vina namna yake ya kuviendesha. Ndio maana Waziri Mwinyi amekaa sana Wizara ya Ulinzi.
Law and security organs must be run in a certain way. This is why Minister Mwinyi has been with the ministry for a long time, and there is no way he will disrespect brigadier generals. He knows how to operate. You must use the same skills. This is why law and security organs have a mandate to report directly to the President. If you take this into consideration, then it will assist you on how you should operate. I understand that you have a background in law, and I'm sure IGP is pleased. I know the ministry you're going to head has a lot of challenges, but you must go and straighten things out.
Nafikiri amefurahi sana.
3 people died when they were swept away by floods at Tungamalenga village in Iringa district. The floods were caused by ongoing rains which have made more than 60 households homeless after their houses were demolished by the rains.
As
the house was filling up with water, she managed to get hold of a tree, but the children were not able to do so, and as a result, they were swept away in the water. Things are bad, and the prison area is in danger. I ask people to seek refuge in raised areas. I ask for assistance in shelter and food, as some have no shelter. Between 10 and 11 p.m., there was an increase in the level of water and the prisons was in danger. So we had to dig up a canal to divert the water, of which we were successful.
The government has called on Tanzanians to remain calm and wait for further clarification from the government whenever unconfirmed reports on virus issues start to circulate on social media. The statement was made by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, Professor Palamagamba Kabudi, when clarifying on the state of Tanzanians in China following reports of an outbreak of a virus known as corona in the country.
China imekumbwa na maradhi ya homa ya corona na sisi Tanzania kule China.
There is a coronavirus outbreak in China, and as you know, we have at least 4,000 Tanzanian students studying there, and in Wuhan there are about 400. Today I spoke to Tanzania ambassador to China, who assured me that none of the students has been affected. We are grateful to God that no Tanzanian has been infected with the virus.
Ningependa niwahakikishie Watanzania mambo kama haya yanapotokea.
I would like to encourage Tanzanians to be calm when such incidences occur and to wait for information and guidance from relevant authorities rather than seeking information from social media platforms or hearsay. We would like to assure those with relatives in China that we will relay information to you as we receive it.
huu wa hii homa ya corona, ili baadaye hali iendelee kama kawaida.
Garbage trucks in Dar es Salaam City has remained stranded for 3 days at Pugu Kinyamwezi dump due to a lack of equipment and a poor state of the road, which has become muddy and swamped with garbage, making it impassable. The situation has impacted garbage collection in various parts of Dar es Salaam as the trucks are unable to leave the dump site.
This is really hard for us. We were forced to spend the night here, which was uncomfortable because there are a lot of mosquitoes. We have no idea what time we are going to leave.
Ni kweli watu wamelala hapa siku 3. Ushona ni kutokana ni uzembe unaofanyika.
Drivers have been forced to spend 3 nights here. There is an issue with the machinery. This is causing a big backlog.
Changamoto kubwa ambayo iliyokuwepo kwa sasa ni hali ya dampo. Hali ya dampo
You find vehicles are not dumping rubbish in time, causing a pile-up. What needs to be done is for the dump to operate 24 hours.
Tunapozungumza mvua inanyesha, kwa kweli tulipata shida kwenye changamoto kiasi kwamba
We faced a lot of challenges because the roads became impassable to an extent where 2 plants got damaged in the water. As a result, we had to hire some.
fikia hatua mpaka ikabidi tuchukue mitambo ya kukodi mingine.
The 18th meeting of Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania starts on 28th of January 2020 in Dodoma, with the bills of reconciliation and amendment of miscellaneous laws expected to be debated.
Kama mnavyojua, kamati za bunge zinafanya kazi mbalimbali.
As you're aware, the House of Parliament committees undertake various tasks, so at the end of the year, each committee will submit an annual report to the House. A total of 15 committees will submit.
Joho lile linakuwa na seti mbili.
There are 2 sets, of which one will remain in the House of Parliament and the other set will be given to retired speaker as a souvenir.
Kama kumbukumbu yake na yeye.
More than 120 houses along Kombo Masai Street in Malolo Ward, Tabora Municipal have become engulfed with water caused by heavy rain which fell last night. The situation has made it difficult for students to go to school, with residents concerned on the threat of outbreak of waterborne diseases.
Tunaomba msaada, mtusaidie. Hali hii ndio inadukumba. Sisi ni wananchi wetu.
We are asking for assistance. You should not forget us as if we don't belong here. Yet you come to us when you need support. We ask the Regional Commissioner to speak on our behalf.
Kwa hiyo viongozi wa serikali ya juu wao wanasema wataanza kiangazi.
We've been informed that construction of the road will take place during the dry season, but nothing gets done. We don't know what.
Kwa nyuma kwenye serikali yao ya mikoa huko juu.
The defense has called on the prosecution to complete printing of files of the murder case facing businessman Hamis Said Luongo so that the case can proceed. This comes after government solicitor Janet Magoho told the court the files were with the police and waiting to be printed. Accused Hamis Said Luongo first appeared in Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court on 31st of July 2019 on charges of killing his wife Naomi Marijani at Gezaulole area, Kigamboni. It is alleged that he killed his wife, then set her on fire before filing her burnt remains in 2 sacks, which he later buried at his farm in Mkuranga Coast region. And that is the national news. International news follows shortly. Welcome back, and in international news. The government of Kenya has issued four more planes which will be used to spray pesticides against desert locusts who have caused massive destruction of crops in 11 counties. Tana River County has witnessed the most destruction from the desert locust invasion, with the Minister of Agriculture, Peter Munya, saying efforts to fight the locusts are being hampered by a shortage of pesticides.
There have been challenges, of course, in terms of containing the situation, largely because of unavailability of the chemicals that are required, because they are imported, and sometimes the suppliers that are there also are not reliable. That has been quite a challenge for us, and this is one of the issues we must deal with moving forward. I mean, and of course government processes also that require you to do MBCD even when there is an emergency of this magnitude. So we want to improve on that. That has been a major challenge. You want to have the chemicals and the right chemicals in good time, but you have to go through procurement and all this. The people who are supplying those chemicals, this is not a chemical they trade in on a day-to-day basis, so they have to source outside, and that has been that has slowed down our effectiveness in terms of containing the situation. Having said that, it doesn't mean that we've stopped. Even now, as we speak, our planes are busy spraying, and we are still proactively continuing to contain the situation, continuing with the surveillance, continuing with training. In fact, the training is going on in Nakuru now for teams, 21 counties. We are mobilizing that team that is going to do rapid assessment. We also are quickly, once we get.
President Yoweri Museveni has directed public officials who are involved in corruption malpractices to pack up and leave before stern action is taken against them. President Yoweri Museveni warned that the fight against corruption is not debatable and that the prison department has already allocated space for corrupt officials at Luzira prison.
The only remaining enemy, the corrupt public servants, who delay decision-making.
Corrupt public servants remain the only enemy for our country's developments by delaying decision-making, but it is very easy to deal with such people. As the government, we are determined to do so. I have received report that investors are now seeking for opportunities in Uganda through their embassies. I will surely set procedures to arrest those people.
Of his country.
Burundi nationals have been called on to be united in order to achieve national social welfare development. The call was made by the Deputy Secretary General of CCM Tanzania Mainland, Rodrick Mpogolo, at celebrations to nominate the presidential candidate from CNDO-FDD party in Burundi.
Sisitiza kujenga umoja na mshikamano wa kitaifa ili kufanikisha maendeleo.
We are emphasizing in strengthening unity so as to foster development of this nation. A nation is built with citizens themselves. Let us cooperate and remain united to build our country. As East Africans and Africans, we are proud of what we have managed to achieve so far.
Tunaamini maendeleo yataimarika zaidi na zaidi.
The Minister of Environment in Rwanda, Uwamria Jean d'Arc, has said that in the next 2 years, motorcycles which do not use electrical systems will not have a market in the country. He made the statement when talking about measures being taken by the government to control smoke pollution caused by vehicles. Motorcycles and vehicles that releases soot are a challenge to many of us because they are highly contributing in polluting environment and a source of some of diseases. Rwanda is determined to use electric vehicles and motorcycles as efforts of combating air pollution, where last year Rwanda went into partnership with Volkswagen and Siemens companies to launch those vehicles. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The Minister of Land, Housing and Settlement Development, William Lukuvi, has warned government institutions in the country which have not paid land rent, saying there has been a tendency by some institutions to accumulate taxes on the pretext that they are public institutions. Minister Lukuvi gave the warning in Dodoma when addressing land officers from various regions in the country. There is no government building that will not pay taxes. Even to public institutions that have areas they use for production are also entitled to pay taxes. I repeat, nobody is exempted from paying tax. I want everybody to know that land tax is a necessary bill, just like paying electricity and water. The government has expectations to all its ministries, including collection of revenues. Our ministry is still lagging behind from its revenues targets. I believe that these trainings will be much of a help. Producers from small industries have called on regulation authorities to provide services at Tanzania Revenue Authority TRA offices in every region in order to address the problem of spending a lot of time looking for the services which are far from production areas. There are TRA offices in every region, but we have to travel all the way to Dar es Salaam in order to get stamps, something that is difficult to some small entrepreneurs. All who are benefiting from this project must put in mind that through this project we shall be able to rescue ourselves economically. Let us take this opportunity to grow. The Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange has urged companies which want to be listed at the stock market to complete procedures. This was said during the launch of a strategy aimed at empowering stakeholders from all sectors on how to benefit from the stock market by getting capital to implement development projects. Awareness in the financial sector is still minimal. Thus, this is among the strategies and efforts that will help in building capacities to various stakeholders for them to use these capital markets.
Masoko ya mitaji.
Hii ni program ambayo tumeizindua leo.
This program will last for 12 months that will be conducted in different phases, where the first phase will include educating stakeholders on how to operate their businesses in different places. And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Position, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And in sports news, the Minister of Information, Arts, Culture and Sports, Harrison Mwakembe, is expected to lead thousands of boxing fans to cheer on Tanzanian boxer SALAAM Tango in his UBO against Suria Tatakum of land to be held at Mkwakwani ground in Tanga on 31st January this year.
Kikombe ambacho wanagombea wapinzani kimeshafika. Kwa hiyo bondia huyu Sreyan Tutakan yeye anaingia tarehe 29, alikadhalika bondia wetu Mtango yeye yuko kwenye mazoezi makali, maandalizi yake ni mazuri.
Managers of sports grounds in the country have been advised to collaborate with various stakeholders in order to improve the security and quality standards of the grounds, which should have artificial grass. We need to bring an expert who will help us to maintain these grasses. However, if we will have enough funds, I think it is best if artificial grasses will be used with the capacity of lasting for up to 10 years. Priorities will be given to government school students from primary to secondary school. U.S. basketball legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna were among 9 people killed in a helicopter crash in the city of Calabasas, California. Bryant, 41, and Gianna, 13, were traveling in a private helicopter when it came down and burst into flames. There were no survivors. Bryant, a 5-time NBA champion, played for the LA Lakers throughout his career and is considered one of the greatest players in the game's history. Tributes from celebrities and fellow sports stars have been pouring in, many expressing shocking at his sudden death. Moments of silence have been observed at basketball games across the U.S. Now moving on, a Spanish top seed Rafael Nadal battled past rival Nick Kyrgios in a thrilling 4-set match to reach the Australian Open quarterfinals. Nadal had not dropped a set this tournament before 23rd seed Guion provided his biggest test so far. Guion, who wore a Kobe Bryant basketball shirt in the warm-up battle hard, but Nadal came through with 6-3, 3-6, 7-6, 8-6, 7-6, 7-4. Nadal will face Australian 5th seed Dominic Thiem in the last 8. Nadal and Kyrgios have not always been seen eye to eye, with the rivalry blowing up last year after a tempestuous meeting in Acapulco. Now, La Liga wants the Spanish Football Association to punish Espanyol with a partial stadium closure after Athletic Bilbao forward Anik Williams said he was racially abused at their ground. After the 1-1 draw on Saturday, Williams said no black player or any player ever wants to hear that. La Liga is attempting to identify the fans involved and bring criminal charges of hate crimes against them. The Spanish FA is scheduled to discuss the issue at a meeting on Wednesday. La Liga is also working on plans to allow players to report abusive chants to a referee who can then take action. And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.